attention. During the national anthem, our civilian guests should place their right hand over their heart. We request all cellular telephones and other electronic devices be turned off at this time. In addition, please remove all security badges. The ceremony will begin shortly. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks another significant milestone in the development of our United States Space Force as we officially commission and enlist our newest members into the Space Force. We are pleased to welcome our host for today's ceremony, the Deputy Chief of Space Operations for Operations, Cyber, and Nuclear, Lieutenant General Chance Saltzman, Brigadier General Maurice McKinney, Vice Commander, Air University, virtually Dr. Todd Stewart, Director and Chancellor of the Air Force Institute of Technology, and all other Air University commanders, commandants, chiefs, and superintendents. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a video message from the Chief of Space Operations, General Raymond.
Space warfighters, it's an absolute honor for me to take part in this monumental swearing-in ceremony. Today, you will officially join the nation's newest armed service. This is a moment in history that was last realized more than 7 decades ago. Clearly a once-in-a-lifetime journey that we will navigate together. I couldn't be more excited for you and for our United States Space Force, regardless of your background, assignment, rank, or occupational specialty. Together, we are laying the foundation of a service that will be agile, lean, and fast, built to stay ahead of a significant and growing threat. We are defining and standing up the first digital armed service. But more importantly, as you take the oath, you are reaffirming your commitment to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. If deterrence were to fail, you're going to have to fight and win the battle for space superiority alongside our joint and coalition partners. Today, you are taking an important and significant step towards the development of a service purpose-built to achieve speed, agility, and unity of effort through space power. And even though the United States desires a peaceful, stable, and accessible space domain, we are in a great power competition, and our adversaries have the means to attack space operations on Earth and on orbit. We operate in an increasingly complex and contested domain across the conflict continuum, employing space power in, from, and to the space domain. The joint force is counting on us to deliver war-winning capabilities to our nation's forces and to our allies and partners operating around the globe. As members of the Space Force, you'll be critical to protecting and defending the ultimate high ground. And because of you, we will be able to provide a comprehensive military advantage founded on the principles of space power. Your charge is simple: be bold, be innovative, inspire, and lead our Space Forces to always be above the next warfighting challenge. Guardians, Semper Supra.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Saltzman.
How's everybody doing? See, we're so spread out. It's hard to get the real emotion and feel behind this. And then we've got people digitally connected to us as well from around the country and other places. So, truly a digital ceremony for the digital force, digital Space Force. What a great honor for me to be here and to preside over this ceremony. I'll keep it brief, but because it's hard to follow a guy like General Raymond. I mean, he just laid it out exactly the way it is. This is an exciting, monumental day in your careers. And I mean that. You are leaving the Air Force. I left the Air Force after 28 years and then reaffirmed my oath under a new service, right? So I tell people my total active federal commitment is about 30 years so far, but my time in service is about 8 months, right? It's kind of weird for an old guy to think about it like that. But what a great day that was for me, and what a great day it is for you to be sworn into the Space Force. I think old guys always say this: I would give anything to trade places with you. I know you don't believe it, but let me try to make my case. I'm at the end. I'm gonna help create something, and then I'm gonna have to pass it off to the next generation. You guys are the next generation. You get to take a force that's a fledgling. It's a baby in the cradle, and you get to build literally everything about it. It's doctrine, it's ethos, it's culture, it's weapon systems, it's professional military education. You get to build it from the ground up, and you're going to get to do that for years. I am so envious. It's just a remarkable challenge. It's a remarkable time to be in the Department of Defense, and it's clearly a remarkable time to be a space officer or enlisted guardian charged with this kind of a challenge and exciting opportunity. So I think we should go ahead and make this a formal event and swear everybody in. So what's the next step?
Yes, sir. Since its establishment on December 20th, 2019, the United States Space Force continues to stand up as a separate service to maintain and enhance the competitive edge of the Department of Defense in space while adapting to new strategic challenges. As part of the United States Space Force development, Air Force personnel in space-related career fields will transfer into the Space Force and become Space Force service members. Today, our space professionals will join the Chief of Space Operations, the Senior Enlisted Advisor, and many others as official members of the United States Space Force. It is a military tradition that the newly inducted officer and enlisted members affirm their commitment to the armed services by taking the oath of office or the oath of enlistment. The oath reminds us all of the significant pledge that the Constitution of the United States. Listen carefully to the words of the oath. They speak to the significance of military service and to why it's such a privilege to serve. Lieutenant General Saltzman will now administer the oath of office to the new Space Force officers. If the new Space Force officers will please rise. Those taking the oath of office will initiate a salute following the oath.
Okay, officers. I state your full name. Having been appointed an officer in the United States Space Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
Thank you. Officers, you may be seated. If the enlisted members who will be taking the oath of enlistment would please rise. Lieutenant General Saltzman will now administer the oath of enlistment to the new Space Force enlisted personnel. Enlisted members taking the oath of enlistment will initiate a salute following the oath.
Okay, enlisted members. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Congratulations to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of the men and women of the United States Space Force, thank you for joining us in celebrating our newly inducted space professionals. Please rise for the playing of the interim Space Force March. Thank you all. Have a great day.